Hello, everyone. This is Randy Kirk, and you have reached Small Business Daily. And we're here with one goal and one goal only, and that is to help you become more successful as a small business person. We all face pretty much the same things as small business people. I've been doing it for about a half a century or so, various different kinds of small businesses. And, you know, no matter what business you're in, you're faced with hiring, you're faced with firing, you're faced with motivating employees, you're faced with how to find the right products or services, how to price them, how to sell them, how to market them, how to avoid taxes. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, and we're all faced with pretty much those same issues, no matter what size business we are, and almost no matter what kind of business we're in, we face a lot of the same issues. Well, in the course of my career, I have owned and made money from over 20 different small businesses, in ranging from a consultant to a manufacturer with 100 employees. I mean, I've had a wide range of experience, and I've also written a bunch of books on small business. I'm hoping that I can just share a little bit of stuff with you. Love to have you comment below. Maybe there's some questions you have about your small business. You can put in the comments below. Gee, this is something I'd love for you to cover, Randy. Could you cover this someday? Or maybe as you listen today, there'll be issues that I raise with regard to, we're working on selling right now. Maybe there's some issues you have with regard to how to sell, or how to sell more, or how to sell better, how to close more deals. Ask those questions. Just ask away. I'm going to respond to every single comment that's made down there. And I'm going to, in many cases, I'm going to see a real opportunity to share in the future about something that you've brought up that we can help a lot of other people that are basically, again, they're faced with the same issues. So we've been talking about selling, and we've spent 5 days so far on selling. The first day was just the principles of selling. The second day was how important enthusiasm and passion is. The third day was listening, paying attention, finding the need, and then filling the need. The next day, we covered objections and how they're the salesperson's best friend. And then yesterday, we covered closing, the closing, the importance of closing, the fact that it doesn't have to be something that you fear. It can be something that's a big help to you, and something that's going to really, if you close deals, if you ask for the deal, if you ask for the sale, you're going to find out that you're going to dramatically increase your sales, probably your margins, and therefore your profits, and how much you get to take home to your family. So today we're going to talk about another aspect of selling, and it may not be applicable to your business, but it probably is. Or if it isn't, maybe you should think about how you could actually change the products or services that you offer where this would be applicable. I've made this suggestion a couple of times in setting up today's show, that McDonald's is kind of the guys that brought it to our attention a few years ago. They were getting, I don't know how many dollars per person that went through their line. And one day somebody said, hey, we could maybe increase the number of dollars we're getting just by suggesting dessert. Well, I did that in the restaurant business when I was a waiter years ago. If you recommend some wine and some dessert, you can up the bill a bunch, which ups your tip. We call it selling add-ons, and we're going to talk about selling add-ons today. So before we get into the details of it, could I ask you to like, if you think this is good, is this any value? Do you think it's going to be valuable to you? Have you been enjoying them so far? If you've been watching, just push the like button. It helps me with YouTube. They're going to give me some advantage by you liking it. And only about a third of the people like things, even when they like it. So maybe you could be one of that 33%. The second thing is, if you think the content is generally something you would like to see more of, then subscribe. And that way it makes it easier for you to jump back on. You can find me more easily in the future. And then if you'd like to be notified, this is a daily show. So our goal is to put it on Monday through Friday. We may end up doing a 4-day show if it wears out the old man too fast. But if we can possibly do it, we're going to go for 5 days a week. And so, you don't need to be notified if you're going to just remember to come in every day and check in, but maybe you just like that reminder. So you push notify and you'll get a reminder each time we upload another video. So let's jump into the whole idea of add-ons. If you are, no matter where you are in business, if you are a retailer, a wholesaler, a manufacturer, an OEM, wherever you're selling, there's almost always something you could add on to the deal, some way that you could increase the amount of the invoice while you're still in front of the prospect. This is a huge beneficial way to increase your sales and profits. Once you've sold the person, written the invoice, the sales process is over, they've walked out the door, they've hung up the phone. In order to get more products sold to them or more services sold to them, you're going to need to start the sales process over again. So much easier when they're already in a positive mood. They've already processed what you do, how professional you are, how much they like you, what they think about your company. It's to get them at that point to add on to the sale. So I'm going to fall back, as I commonly do, to the bicycle world. And in the bicycle world, it can basically change the life of a bicycle retailer to add on more product immediately upon the sale. You can imagine when you buy a new bicycle, you are going to need a helmet. It's law in a lot of places. You're going to need a lock set. If you don't lock it up, it's going to get stolen. You may need a tire repair kit or some kind of puncture prevention product. I happen to sell puncture prevention products on Amazon called Thorn Busters. If you've been having trouble with goat heads, please head over to Amazon and look up Thorn Busters, and you can solve yourself a lot of problems with getting flats. But there's a number of different add-ons for a bicycle that you need right at the point of sale. You don't want to get them next week or next month. And if your prospect who buys that bike and is now a customer walks out the front door, how easy is it for them to go on Amazon and buy that helmet or buy that lock set? How easy is it for them to maybe see another bike shop and walk in there and buy those products? How easy is it for a friend of theirs to say, oh, I see you bought a new bike, but do you have something to protect you from flats here? And in the Western region, you need something to protect yourself from flats. And then they recommend the product, let's say Thornbuster, and you lost the sale. They go on Amazon and buy it. This is true pretty much for everybody that's in a selling proposition. If you're a wholesaler, obviously you have hundreds and hundreds of things you sell. So when you sold 20 things today and basically just checked off the list, oh yeah, I need more of that. And I need more of that. And yeah. Why don't you double my sale from last time? And no, that's the time to go on and say, by the way, here's 5 new things. Or, I've been talking to you for several months now about this. Don't you think it's time to give it a try? I've shown you how well I've done with these other items. I'm telling you, this is going to sell. If you're an OEM and you've just sold some kind of a part that goes to the manufacturing process, well, you might have other parts that go to the manufacturing process. Are you in a service business? Maybe you're a CPA. How does a CPA add on? Well, maybe the person called you about taxes, but how about talking to them about what they need on top of taxes? As a good CPA, aren't you able to read their financial statements and find ways to save them money or to make them money as a result of looking at their trends and the things that maybe their margins have been going down or their sales year to date are not the same as last year? Don't you have other ways that you can help them other than just their taxes? Well, that's an add-on. So you've become a supplier for them as a result of their need for taxes. Now let's add on some management of their account. By the way, if that sounds interesting to you, I've just written a new book with Shayla Chamberlain, my co-author and CPA. And the whole book called Making Money Out of Thin Air is all about how to make money out of your financial statement. So what about the add-ons? How do we make the add-on sale? What we want to do is, when we've closed on the first thing, is we want to just segue directly into it. We segue directly into the add-on sale by recollecting the conversation we've just had. What were their needs? What were their pain points? What were their expectations and hopes and dreams? What were they explaining to you about what it was that they were coming to you in the first place? And how can you enhance the product you just sold them by adding on? So again, we're talking about the bicycle. You've sold the bicycle, you're ready to write it up, and you say, by the way, if you really want to have a much better riding experience, you don't want your bicycle to be stolen, because it's really bad to come back, to the park where you've put your bicycle up and come back and it's gone. It's not a good thing. So if you really want to make your bicycle experience better, you probably should get a lock set. Can we talk to you about which lock set I recommend? And then, you're still getting that lock set off the peg, you're pulling it down. And as you're doing that, you're saying, and, in the state of California, it's a law that you must wear a helmet if you're riding a bicycle. And can I show you a couple of helmets? I have this one that I think is perfect for you. You see, each time you're not only saying you need this item, I think it's going to make your experience better, but you're also saying, I'm the expert and I can help you make a quick decision. Let me turn this around and show you an example, and this is a true story, of how much money can be left on the table. I was standing in a bike shop. I was waiting to talk to the owner, and he had a customer in front of him, just sold him a bike. He's riding up the bike, putting into the cash register, and the customer says to him, I think I need a bike rack on the back of my car in order to take my bicycle home. Well, the owner stops. He goes, yeah, okay. He goes over, shows him a couple of bike racks, gets to the box, brings it over, and starts to work again. Then the customer says, I really think I'm going to need a helmet. And the owner stops and says, oh, okay. Takes him over and he sells him a helmet. Comes back and starts to write it up again. This guy didn't get it. Somewhere along the line, he had never heard my talk. So this guy once again says, and I believe I'm going to need to lock up the bike. So by the time he got done, the prospect, the customer had sold him had sold the owner on selling him 5 add-ons. That owner would have lost, I'm just going to estimate about $150 at 50% margins if this customer hadn't helped him sell him on those 5 other items. It can make all the difference in the world to your business if you get into the habit of selling add-ons. What's one way to get into the habit of anything is to write it down. I would recommend that you not only write down what the add-ons are that you most commonly do, or that you're doing this week because these are new, or they got a lower price, or there's something special about them, but have a list so that every prospect you're in front of, every customer you're in front of, you've got a list ready to go of things that you could add on to the sale. And then if you want to really be clever, keep a record. Take a look at your average invoice, what it's been last week. And then when you start really effectively going after the add-ons, take a look at the invoices at the end of the next week and see if you've improved your average invoice and your average profit per invoice. Okay. Once you see what a difference it can make in your take home, how much you're going to take home to your family, I think you'll be really ready to start doing those add-ons all the time. Oh, and by the way, you've done your customer a favor. I owned a company for many years, a plastics manufacturing business in the bicycle industry. And we had a slogan called enhancing the cycling experience. And by that, we meant that everything that we sold, we believed enhanced the cycling experience. When you sell add-ons, you're enhancing the experience that your customer is going to have with you, your company, and your products or services. Those items that you're offering are going to make a difference, a positive improvement on top of the base product that you sold them. So as you've enhanced their experience and you've kept them from going to a competitor to buy those add-ons, you've dramatically increased the chances that they're going to recommend you to others, that they're going to have a positive view of you, that they might go on to Yelp or onto Google My Business and actually put up a nice review about you. These are all aspects of good customer service that are going to help you on so many levels. And if you like what I'm talking about, here's my add-ons for today. If I've sold you on the idea of doing add-ons, I want to sell you on the idea of hitting the like button. Did you like it? Well, then if you liked it, like it. and if you like the general content, this general content on selling, but we're going to get into a lot of other things. If you like those, subscribe. It's just you just push the button right there. You just hit subscribe, and then it makes it easier for you to get back up to Small Business Daily and see what other things you might have missed. And then finally, if you'd just like to be notified every time we put up a new show, then you hit the notify button. I also want to just really quickly mention to you about the website you can go to get instant information really, really fast. And in fact, this new website that we just created even says that. It's called freebusinesshelpnow.com. freebusinesshelpnow.com. What could you not like about that? It's free, it's business help, and it's immediate. It's now. You can get it. We have videos up there. We've got articles up there. We've got all podcasts, everything you can think of on subject matters ranging from how to do a startup to how to sell your business, from how to sell to how to get more benefit out of your accounting, from how to manage employees to how to fire employees. I mean, it's all there. Jump on board, take a look at the website, and let me know what you think about the website too. If you could drop me an email or put it in the comments below. So looking forward. Okay, yeah, this is the end of the series on selling. The next thing we're going to do, you guys may not know, or maybe you do know, I just love Elon Musk. I think he's amazing. And I think that he's the most successful entrepreneur in history. And I think that that's because he does a lot of things right. And so I wrote a book called The Elon Musk Method that talks about those approaches that he has to small business, or to business, big business in his case, and how those same things that he does can apply to your business. And what we're going to do next week is we're going to talk about 10 things that Elon Musk believes. These are things we know from his writing or from his speaking that he believes about success in business, that we think if you paid attention to them or upped your game in these areas would dramatically help your small business. When you come back next time, you'll find out the number one thing that we think Elon Musk believes about how to become successful in business. Until next time, this is Small Business Daily. Randy Kirk saying, see ya.